name is Beth Hiley here for BoardGameGeek at FIJ 2020. I'm sitting down with Charles Amir Perret from Super Meeple, and you're going to give us a quick tour of Genesia.
Yeah, hello everybody. Thank you. So Genesia is our big release for this year for the Cannes Fair, the beginning of this year, and it will be also in English later, brought by Luma later this year. So it's a territory conquest game with a civ dimension, because the game takes place. There are 3 rounds, and you will have the first round where it's prehistoric time, and then you have Middle Ages, and then the modern times. So the game, depending on the number of players, you have the Genesia here, the Genesia Islands here. So here it's a setup for 3 players. So depending on the number of players, you have different. This is for 5 players, and this is for 2 or for 4 players. And you can also play solo mode, so for 1 to 5 players. So depending on the number of players, this is the setup. So you have the central Genesia Islands, and then each player has his own territory here, and everybody has his own clans here, and these are the cities. So the goal is to expand, and to everybody will start here, and then you will expand your clans, and the goal is to conquer the most territories, and of course the territories that have the most victory points. So the more you go in the center, and the more victory points you have. So everybody will of course try to go in the center, but also you can also go in the others territories, because it's also interesting to get some points there. So in order to do this, the core mechanic of the game is a drafting mechanic. So this is the age 1 card. So at the beginning of the setup, there are different. So you have 30 different. There are 90 different cards, 30 by ages, and you have also a color here. So depending on if it's your first play, then you will take a certain color, and then after when you will have the habit of the game, you can just mix the colors. It doesn't matter. So you have a certain number of cards. So every player we will start with the age 1. We'll get 6 cards, and then you do this. You start doing the drafting until everybody has 5 cards, and then once everybody has the 5 cards, you will start the first phase. So everybody will play his cards with this symbol. It's the expansion. So the growth, the growth. That's so when you play the card, you have to pay for it. So the card here, you have when you have to play the card. If it's an invention or not, here for example it's an invention of art. This is 2 victory points because you made the invention. This is the cost for playing the card also, because you have some coins and you have to play, and then you just play what is the action of the card. So everybody plays all these cards for this phases, and this phases is mainly about just bringing more clans into your territories. And then once everybody has played these cards, then everybody will play these cards. This is the expansion. So the expansion is about moving your clans. So moving here, moving to the other places. So this is the second phase. And then the third phase is the attack phase. So everybody will have a token with war and peace. So everybody chooses if he wants to do war or peace. If everybody chooses peace, then there's no attack phases, and we move to the second age. If only one just chooses the war, then he does the attack, and then we do it again until everybody has chosen peace. So once it's over, then we move to the second age, so the Middle Ages. So we do the same. We give 6 cards to all the players. We do the drafting like this. We do the same thing, and then last round with the modern times, and we do it again. And once it's finished, then we count the points. So the game, of course, because this is because we start from prehistory to modern times. Of course, the power of the actions are not the same at all, because when you start prehistory, it's pretty weak weapons, for example, compared to bombing that you have in the modern times. So there's a very big growth during the 3 ages, and then so that means that at the beginning the first round is pretty quick, then the second a little bit longer, and then the third one is a big round. you can attack. So the attack pace, there's no die or whatever. It's just very simple as what
How
is the
many?
height, how many
Yep.
compared to, and then everybody just loses to like this, and then you just keep what you have in the end.
And I'm going to take a guess that this is a defensive
Exactly,
position.
defense. This is 1+1. So at the end of each round, wherever you have at least 2 clans, there's a city that is built. So then it brings more defense. Yeah. So what is interesting? So it's also what is interesting to say. Also, I think is that you can win without attacking at all. That's possible. It's not only about just attacking the others. You don't have to, because the more attack also, because it costs quite a lot to attack.
Right.
So you have to do just a few attacks sometimes to do just to be able to maybe to win. So this is this is the main. At the end, when you count the points, the main way to score is to be in the different territories. But you also have some secret objective. So you have some cards that are somewhere.
Maybe in the back.
Somewhere. So at the beginning of the game, you have some secret objective cards that gives you kind of strategy for the whole game. That brings about 20% of the total scoring at the end. And then also the inventions are quite a good way also to score. So it's good also to do inventions. Yeah. So it's for 1 to 5 players. It's about 20 minutes per player. So it's about 40, 45 players, 2 players, and about 1 hour and a half, 2 hours for when you play at 5 players. And then so we are working on this game for the last 2 years. The game has won a lot of experts awards for the best prototype in the different fairs in France, and that's it.
And when is it going to be available?
I think Luma is planning to release the game for the Origins, so in June, right?
Yeah, in June, and then here in the EU?
Yeah, here in March.
Okay, so coming up very soon.
Yeah.
Well, I'm really glad after 2 years of development that you guys are.
Yeah, finally, it's been a lot of work. So we know that the game has been tested a lot of times, so we know that it's well balanced. And after the players will like or not the kind of games, but we know that it's really perfectly balanced for sure. Yeah.
Well, if you want to conquer some territory and cross different ages and time, then you should check out Genesia, which is being published by Super Meeple Games. And Charles, thank you again.
Thank you very much. Thank you.